Everybody, it's Ro. I'm super excited to do this coffee talk with you guys. And the topic today is going to be being legendary. And, let me just tell you this. I am smashing some serious glass tonight because as you guys know, the computer is not my thing. And my IT department is actually in Melbourne right now. When I say IT department, that means Zane. And she's in Melbourne right now supporting our team. So I figured I have to smash some glass and break through some ceilings and overcome some fears. So thank you, YouTube. I figured it out, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm excited about presenting this to you. I'm excited because I have one of my team leaders with me, Anita, and we're going to be talking about being legendary and being legendary in your doTERRA business and what that exactly means. And I have to tell you, when I first started thinking about doing this, it actually wasn't my idea. I was looking for a tapping sequence with Brad, our friend, and I was scrolling through and I saw he had this one video on being legendary, and it actually rubbed me the wrong way. I thought, being legendary, oh my gosh, that's so like egotistical, and all this stuff came up for me. And I thought, well, I better tap it out. So I did his video, and I thought, wow, I really need to share this with the team because it really made an impact on me and how we could relate being legendary, making a difference, and building the business, and how amazing of a difference we can make. So let's jump right in and start with our usual tapping with Brad. Here it is. So let's see if I can do this right. We'll make them big. So just go ahead. If you've never done tapping before, tapping is EFT, emotional release technique. And just really quick and brief, Brad has some videos on YouTube that explain exactly what EFT is. You're going to be tapping on certain meridians of the body while making statements, and what it does is it releases emotion and shifts some blocks that you have. So we're going to be tapping this one out, Being Legendary with Brad Yates.
So Robin Sharma, the author of The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, talks about being legendary. Now, how cool is that to set as a goal for yourself? So let's clear whatever gets in the way of that, taking full responsibility for your own well-being. I choose to be legendary, and I choose to love and accept myself. I choose to be legendary, and I choose to love and honor myself. I choose to be legendary. I choose to be all that I can be, and do all the good that I can do, and make the difference that I can make. And I choose to be legendary. And I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. I choose to be legendary. I choose to be legendary. I choose to do as much good as I can do. I choose to be as good as I can be. I choose to make the mark that I can make. I choose to make the difference that I can make. I choose to be legendary. And I'm not just doing this for my ego. I'm doing this to fulfill my potential. To make the difference that I can make. I choose to do as much good as I can do. And if I do so much good that I'm being legendary, That's a whole lot of good. Some coin would ever make it in the way of that. All that stuff that tells me to play small. All that stuff that tells me not to be seen. Part of me might say, but I don't want to be legendary. I don't want anyone to know who I am. And that's because I have doubts about who I am. And I choose to clear those doubts. As I allow myself to know who I really am, I'm okay with people knowing who I am. They have a right to know who I am. Because I can make a difference for a lot of people. And I choose to make that difference. Releasing all the blocks to that. Releasing those at a cellular level. I'm giving myself the freedom to be legendary. So I allow myself to acknowledge my awesomeness in body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. As you allow yourself to clear the stuff that gets in the way, you find out how much good you can do for the world, how much service you can do. And being legendary, you'd be providing a lot of service. So thanks for doing that.
I love Brad. Don't you love Brad, Anita?
I do.
Oh, was there anything you wanted to add to that?
I think being legendary, when it comes up for me, you think of arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it comes from a place of your heart, and you go with confidence and lead with your heart, then the arrogance doesn't come with it. But if you go with legendary and be arrogant about it, like, look what I've achieved, look at everyone, look at this, then it does start to become arrogant.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we're gonna take a look at some people that we automatically relate to being legendary. And you know, if we take a look at what legendary means, what it means to be legendary. Now, I'm going to read this out for those of you that are listening to this and not watching it. It says, someone or something that has become famous or well-known, usually as a result of a distinctive or unique characteristic or skill. Well-known, famous, extraordinary, or as I like to say, extraordinary. So some common people that we think automatically to be legends in history: Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Thomas Edison, of course, Bugs Bunny, Albert Einstein, Paul McCartney, Sting, John Lennon, Vincent van Gogh, Walt Disney, Princess Di, J.K. Rowling, Henry Ford, Louis Vuitton, Lance Armstrong, Barack Obama, Kate Blanchett, Billy Idol, Erin Brockovich, and Dr. Hill, and of course, I had to put in Steve Irwin. Now, as I mentioned those names, I don't know if maybe something came up when you heard the name and maybe related it to something that person did that was monumental, that was extraordinary, okay? What makes them different? What do you think makes them stand out? Anita, do you want to add anything to that? Like, what is your opinion? What do you think makes those people stand out from just you, me, and the rest of us on the team?
I think they lead with passion and they do what they love. I think that's the biggest thing. They're not forced to do anything, but they do it because they want to.
Exactly. That is exactly it. What they did was they tapped into their superhero powers. Because really, we all have superpowers, okay? And we don't think of it that way. But really, if you look at cartoon superheroes, what makes them special? Well, maybe they could fly, or maybe they are really strong. But if we bring it down to reality, like, I'll just tell you what I think my superpowers are. One of my best superpowers is my hug. I'm a really good hugger. I love to love, but I'm also really good in the kitchen. So I could take some weird ingredients and come up with something really delicious. That's a superpower. What's some of your superpowers?
I can back a trailer really well.
Yeah! That is a superpower. Some people really can't do that. Some people can't even back a car. But nonetheless, we all have superpowers, whether that's dog grooming, whether that's being in the kitchen, whether that's being really good at loving, making people feel special, sharing your talents. And I want to talk about the difference between your superpower and your passion. So your passion is something that you love to do. Either you love the concept of it, or you really enjoy doing it. It might not be something that you're really good at, but you love it. So, for example, I have many passions, and of course, right now I can't think of one. But I just went blank. I looked over and I saw the little Buddha. So, all right, let's say you have a passion, and you really enjoy doing that, okay? And that related to your superpower is not something that maybe you're super good at, but when you find your passion, so let's say oils are my passion, right? When I tie in my love and my passion for oils to maybe my cooking, now we're getting into being a superhero, right? So if we look at people who are leaders, who are legends in our business, right? Let's talk about some big people here. So our presidential diamonds for Australia. Let's just talk about them. So Vanessa Jean. When we think about Vanessa Jean, when you think of Vanessa Jean, Anita, what do you automatically think of?
Just the way she carries herself, her passion, the way she can light up a room when she's there, because she's the love goddess.
Yeah, she's the love goddess. So she has a passion for oils. And when you think of Vanessa Jean, automatically for me, I know I relate it to oil dressing, right? So she took her passion and her superpowers, and her superpower is reaching people, is connecting with people, with being sexy, with taking her love of food and oils and combining it and merging those, and that has made her a legend, and has grown her business to the point of being the very first presidential diamond in Australia. So I hope you guys understand that. Is there anything that you want to add to that?
No, I think you pretty much covered that.
Okay. So it's time for an exercise. What I want you to do is, now I've mentioned some people that we all think about as being legends, being legendary, but you actually personally know some superheroes in your life, and we're going to do a little exercise that's going to help you to draw that to your consciousness so you can understand better what I mean by that, okay? So close your eyes.
Unless you're driving.
Unless you're driving, yes, thank you. That might be a bit of a challenge. And I want you to think back, and it could be either when you were a child or even just recently. Think back to when somebody did something either for you that was extraordinary, that left an impression with you, that literally changed the way you think about them. So I'll give you an example. When I was in my early 20s, I injured my back. I had back surgery, and long story short, I was staying with a friend. I was on disability, and in the States, it's actually not a living wage. And so I was having some financial difficulties. I was really stressed out. I was recovering. I didn't have enough money to survive. And a friend of mine took me in, and I was really stressed about my car payment. It was actually my truck payment. And I was falling behind. And one of her friends had come over to visit. I met her for the first time. And this woman, unbeknownst to me, secretively made my truck payment for me. She basically left me a card with the amount of money to make my car payment and went off. And I didn't find it until she was well and truly gone. Now, I didn't know this woman from a bar of soap. To me, she was a legend. She did something extraordinary that changed my life. I also, to give you a different type of example, I had a high school teacher. His name is Mr. Oh my gosh, I just went to go say it and it slipped my mind. All right, anyway, my high school teacher, English teacher, I remember he told me some really amazing nuggets that have never left me, that have made me feel empowered, inspired, and when I think about what he told me, I feel like I could do anything. Okay? He was very, very encouraging to me. So he, to me, was a legend. His example to me was legendary. The way he carried himself, the way his behaviors and his morals were legendary to me. He was an example to me that I wanted to be just like him. So I want you to just take a moment and think about who in your life left an impression on you, did something for you or to you or told you something that made you feel super special, that you never ever forgot that. Okay, so those are people in your life that are legendary, okay? And here I have the definition of legendary, again, which is someone or something that has become famous or well-known, usually as a result of a distinctive or unique characteristic or skill. So my friend's friend who made the car payment for me did something unique and distinctive. My high school teacher, he did something extraordinary. He was well-known. He was very well respected. Okay? So I just kind of want to take it now to another level. And, you know, oftentimes when we tap, was there anything you wanted to add to that? Okay. Oftentimes when we tap or do EFT, we go through the motions, you know, of tapping in the different areas. And we repeat the words, but we don't really think about what we're saying. We don't take it on board. We say the words, but we don't take it on board. So what I want to do is break down what Brad said and see if we could relate it to our dōTERRA business. Okay, so one thing he said was, I choose to be legendary. Now, if you think about what we do here with the oils, and we're all of us that are listening to this have chosen to do dōTERRA as a business. We're not just users, but we have chosen to share this or to do this as a business and to help people change their lives. So we chose to be legendary, whether you believe it or not, the day that you decided to share or build, right? He also said, I choose to do as much good as I can do and be as good as I can be. So what does that mean in your dōTERRA business?
Coming from the heart.
Coming from the heart. Being as good as you can be. Being authentic. I remember you said that last night when we had this talk. You know, and this relates to, when I say being as good as you can be, we know that there's different, we follow the Share Success program, so that's PIPE, so that's preparing, inviting, presenting, enrolling, and supporting. We want to perfect each step of the PIPES system, right? So being as good as you can be is preparing and not overthinking it and not spending too much time in that preparation phase, inviting, you know, not being too afraid to invite people, seeing the opportunity, seeing that people need our help and that they could benefit from the oils and they could possibly change their lives. Presenting. I know you shared a story last night about having some fear come up when you had to present. Do you want to kind of...
So I dog groom. and I was sharing. I had oils with me. I take them out with me every day with the intention of giving samples. And I was grooming Mary's dogs, who now is at one of my builders. But I was onto the second dog, and he had a little bit of an ear infection, and a rash between his legs. And I'm like, and I had some lavender with me, and I'm like, should I? And yeah, I was talking all through the groom to myself whether I should share or not. And I just bit down and just went, you know what, I'm just going to do it. What's the worst that can happen? So I walked up, I presented her with it. I followed up in the next couple of days. They worked. She was ecstatic. She came to a class like 4 or 5 days later that I held. And at the class, she goes, these are great, I want to build. And then we gave her another sample with her daughter with the vetiver and the wild orange, getting her into a sleep pattern, and she was sold big time. So, and if I kept my fear and didn't share that, I wouldn't have a builder.
That's right. And you also helped change her daughter's life and her life. You made a massive, massive impact. I remember she shared the story last night. That's awesome. And, you know, you also, as far as enrolling, you also discussed some fears that came up with that about not, you know, you were afraid of coming across as salesy. But really, and I was at that class, you really just put your fears aside once you started talking and just came from the heart. And, you know, you said it earlier, when you come from the heart and not the ego, the truth will come forth, and you will be the best that you can be because it's your authentic self. So that was a great story. Now, the next part is supporting, right? So support could come in many different forms, and we want to be the best support we can be, whether that's with people who have bought the oils and are just using them, whether that's helping people share the oils, or whether that's working with your builders and really helping them figure out the business, whether you're just figuring it out yourself or not. The great thing about this business is we all learn together. There is no, there is no, you know, I have to be at a certain point before I could build. No, we learn as we go. And as we build, we grow because we grow. Our business cannot grow unless we do. I mean, think about it. If you're earning, and I'm just going to use a story from Tony Robbins that I listened to earlier. He was telling a story about earning about $3,000 a month, okay? And he, I totally forgot what I was going to say. He was earning $3,000 a month, and, lost that one. Squirrel! All right. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. I think I've been up since 3 a.m, so I'm a bit sleep deprived, so my brain's not firing on. I think I need an oil. Let's take an oil break. Everybody take an oil break. This is a great example of how we could use the oils. I'm gonna take wild orange. Everybody grab your oils. If you're driving, be careful. You wanna drop? God, I love wild orange. All right. Moving right along.
But I think if you come from your authentic self and you do it from your heart, and because you're dealing with people and relationships, not everyone's on the same page, and so you can't go in there with an ulterior motive, because the universe will take care of that ego bit as well. So just make sure that you're meeting that person where they are. You might want them to go somewhere else, but it's totally up to them, and you can't go in there thinking that that's where you want them to go.
That's right. And, you know, I just jotted down a note. It says, ego-driven legends don't last. It's like a one-hit wonder. You know, you go in with a bang, and it just doesn't last. You can't build a sustainable business if you're ego-driven, because people could see through that. You need to come from your authentic self. He also said, I choose to make a difference that I could make. So, you know, it's as little as it is or as big as it is. If you're helping someone, if you're working with someone and they are not ready to sign up with a kit, if they are not ready to dive in, but you can give them a sample and educate them and get them started where they're at, which is it's a massive thing to meet people where they're at. You choose to make a difference that you can make. It doesn't mean that you're going in for, the diamond kit with everyone. If someone's not ready to embrace the concept of using oils or changing over to using the oils instead of something else, then meet them where they're at, Is there anything that you want to add to that?
No.
Okay. He talked about ego-driven. Anita already talked about that. Doing this to fulfill your potential. Okay. dōTERRA is a self-development company wrapped up in oils. We all know that. As you grow, your business will grow. If you do not work on yourself, then you will hit more blocks because exactly what you said, Anita, the ego will get in the way. Okay. You will fight, you will kick, you will scream, and you will block the progression of your business. Okay. You need to do self-development. Oh, I remember what I was going to say about look, well done, it works. About Tony Robbins. If all you can think of, I was talking about Tony Robbins earning $3,000, and this was in a clip where he was talking about goal setting, and his goal was to make $500,000 in a year. And just imagine if he was used to earning $3,000, okay, and his mindset was that all he was worth was $3,000 a month, and he cannot even comprehend, understand, or even imagine what it would be like to be earning $250,000 a year or $250,000 a year, then he will never be able to reach that goal because he cannot accept the fact that he is worthy of that. And so, law of attraction, he will come up with every excuse and block to block him from reaching that goal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And law of attraction, once you decide to do something, the universe will conspire to assist you, whether that's making a small goal and not allowing yourself to grow beyond that, or making a really big goal and striving and pushing to reach that goal. The universe will meet you, or whatever you believe, God, energy, source, whatever. So to meet your fullest potential, you need to work on yourself. And as you work on yourself, your business will grow and you will be able to grow into that new position. So, and I know for you, like whenever I think about you, when we first met and you first started doing this business, you are a completely different person. You have grown so much. Look, I get the goosebumps. They're coming. You see? Do you feel like you are the same person that when you first started using the oils?
Yeah, no, not at all.
What changes and differences have you noticed since you started using the oils, since you started sharing and building a business?
I think it's not only the oils that do it, because you learn so much, but it's actually the whole dōTERRA business where it's set up where all those tools and resources are just a fingertip away. And, we're using Zoom and we're using all this technology where you don't have to drive an hour and a half to go to a seminar or anything. You can download Brad Yates and tap in the matter of seconds. So you've got all these resources, and then with the dōTERRA, as you go on, what I've found is I'm surrounding myself with different kinds of people because your vibe attracts your tribe. So
true that. So the next thing he said was, if you're doing so much good that you're being legendary, that's a whole lot of good. I love Brad. So he says, I'm clearing out whatever might get in the way. And this is the growth, this is how we tap it out. Like you said, we can go and tap into him. We progress and do a lot of good and change a lot of people's lives. And the more we share and the more we build and the more we just reach out and overcome those fears and smash some glasses, I like to say, the more legendary we become in our business. Because let me tell you, last night on the call, I said the first time that someone shared the oils with you and you had a profound experience, like myself, like Ashley, like Mary, we all had a massively profound experience. We will never, ever forget that. So let's see. What else did he say? All that stuff, self-talk, fear. Self-talk is a big one. Oftentimes we maybe make a goal, we set a goal, and no sooner do we set a goal, it's like, this is the classic example. You say, I'm going to go on a diet. As soon as you say you're going on a diet, what happens? Man, that ego comes right in and says, oh my gosh, we have to eat everything now that we can't have once we start the diet. And it's like we sabotage ourselves right from, like, before we even start, Or we say, I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I don't know enough about the oils to get started, so I have to do research. And then you get stuck in the preparation phase, and you never actually take off on your business. Or maybe you say, I'm not smart enough. Just like, the computer, for me, massive, 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 massive issue. Okay, Zane could vouch for me on this one. I can get on the computer and try to do a very simple task, and as big and strong as this ex-police officer is, the computer can have me in tears in like 0.025 seconds. And to make this presentation that we're doing right now, I had to overcome that fear. I had to tell myself that I was smart enough, that I can utilize my resources, and that I can present this so that we can be supportive to the team. And put this up so that maybe one of you will hear a nugget, will get inspired, and you will benefit from it. So as you discover who you are, as you discover what your passions are, and you focus on that and develop your passion, because we have passions and we don't necessarily develop them. We don't necessarily put our focus into it. So, Anita loves dogs. Okay, but maybe she never thought to become a dog groomer, but she is a dog groomer. She put her focus there, and then the oils complement that. Oftentimes we think, well, I'm just going to dive into the dōTERRA business, and unless your passion is to be an entrepreneur, then you're going to have to tie that into something else. I mean, you can just say, I'm going to do this as a business and smash some glass and learn how to run a business. And then that will be your passion. You see, your passion always ties into your superpowers, and that's how you become legendary. So is there anything that you want to add to that?
No.
No? Okay. So let's hear from someone that really tapped into their passion and their superpowers. Tony Robbins, I think a lot of you have heard of him. And we're going to hear a little clip from Tony that will describe some of his passions and how, once he developed his business, how not only his business, his change of mindset, but once his success hit, what it can allow you to do, all the avenues that it opens up. We think growing a dōTERRA business is just about the money. The money is secondary, and until you understand your why, you will not understand that. Your why is so important. So much so that it drove Ashley to smash some glass in the month of November and reach premiere. So let's listen to Tony and see what he has to say.
I'm just about people seeing how they can use the money that makes joy happen. Like, I love doing things where it's a total surprise. I remember when I had very little money, I was just getting started. I lived in a very tough environment, and my mom always loved the ocean. We lived in the San Gabriel Valley of LA, where they had small boats and you couldn't go outside for a couple of days. It was horrible. And I called my mom up and I said, early in my career, and I said, come meet me in Huntington Beach. There's a condo I'm considering getting on the beach. I'm considering living on the beach, Mom, but I want your feedback, what you think. So she drives down to meet me, I'll never forget, I just looked around, she goes, oh my God, smell the air, it's so fresh, and this is the dream, we're living on the beach, and my son's gonna live on the beach, and I showed her kind of, she's like, oh my God, this is incredible. I said, you sure, do you really think I don't care what it costs. She said, if you can get in, you get this. And I said, you feel that strong? She said, yeah. And then I said, it's yours, and I had the keys. And it was like, my mom's passed away a long time ago, but it was one of those days that to this day, I can remember the feeling and experience of like, holy shit. You don't get that by buying something for yourself.
Yeah.
You don't get that by, earning a bunch of money. It's beautiful to have those choices. We've been saving up for an RV, and we were invited to Las Vegas for this trip, and we came around the corner, and there's this ultra unbelievable double-sided, and I said, wow, look at that. He said, oh my God, that's the most incredible. We can never have anything like that. And I said, well, let's look inside. The door's open. He said, oh, we can't go in there. I said, well, let's just stick our head in, Took a land right. And I said, oh, we can't. I said, come on. I sat down there. Get out of there. Get out of there. It's yours. Those are the days that, that's what mastering money's about.
Yeah.
You either master it or it masters you, baby.
Yeah.
And if you master it, you can learn, grow, and you can give. And money isn't everything because you have a lot of money and still be a selfish bastard. I mean, money just makes you more of what you are. If you're really selfish, you got more to be selfish with. If you're really giving, you can have more you can give with. And so I feel privileged at this stage in my life to have found a way to do what I love, which is to light people up and bring them breakthroughs and bring them answers in their body, their emotions, their relationships, all these areas, but also in the financial area as well. And when you're able to do it in all those areas, life's pretty cool. If you just do it in the money area, it's not enough. I mean, richest man in the graveyard is not going to do any good. And so this book is really about how to have that real wealth. And I just want to tell you that I end the book sharing a story. I'll share it with you because you know me well enough to know what this is like. I know you can relate in some ways. Your background in your hot suit, going out there with your credit card machines down, was it Macon, Georgia? Macon, Georgia, baby.
It's still hot down there.
It's still hot down there, and you're not.
Absolutely. It's still unopened to go try to sell credit card machines. It's still rather than that.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But we have a similar background. We started with nothing, and I can remember the day I became wealthy. I was just thinking towards the end of the book, what was the day that I became a wealthy man? And I was broke. I was living in Venice, not Venice, Italy, Venice, LA, in this 400 square foot bachelor apartment. I was feeling sorry for myself. I was mad at the world. I was mad at a friend of mine that I loaned, $1,000 to, and he didn't pay me back, and he wouldn't return my phone calls because I was broke. I mean, I was down to, 23, 24 bucks, something like that, some change. No prospects. I'm like, how am I going to eat? How am I going to survive? I'm going to pay my rent. I was already behind my rent by 30 days. And, when I was 17, my mom kicked my dad out. He went back east and kicked me out. And I survived by scrunching up enough money each day and then going to the smorgasbord and loading up for the winter. Just eating all I could to make it last a day or two. And I thought, okay, that's what I'm going to do. And I walked. I didn't want to take my car and the gas or pay for parking. Didn't have that kind of money. And I walked 3-4 miles from Venice to this place in Indigo Way. It's still there. And it's called El Chorrito. It's this little Mexican restaurant that's on the water where all the amazing yachts are. And I'm going to go there and absorb this abundance environment because I'm so scarce that I'm going to eat all I can possibly eat for $5.95 tacos and salads. Of course, like something I go have a good sleep afterwards and forget all this, right? And I went in and I loaded up for winter and I ate all this stuff and I'm looking out there and it was a beautiful day and it was gorgeous. And so I got to go pay, and as I got to go pay, in the front door walks this little boy, probably 8 years old, and 7, 8 years old, and he was dressed in a suit. He was just like, kind of demure like you right now.
Anything I am certainly demure, as you know.
That's how well known. But sincerely, he was just really, I don't know, there was something about this kid. He had this air about him, and he opened the door for his mother, and he pulled the chair out for her. I don't know, something about it just struck me emotionally, very deeply. And I was just touched, thinking, this little boy has got so much heart and class. And so I walked up to him. I paid my bill and walked up to him, and I said hi, and I introduced myself, and I was nobody. Who the hell's Tony Robbins? Tony Robbins. And he says,
this gigantic.
That's what you really think it is, my dad. And I said, I just want to tell you, I watched you the last few minutes. I said, I watched you open the door for your lady. I saw you pull out the chair. I saw the way you're looking in her eyes and giving her your full attention. I said, you are a class act. And he looked at me and I said, and taking her lunch, that's awesome. He goes, well, she's my mom. And I said, that's even more cool. And they said, well, I'm not taking lunch because I don't have a job yet, I'm 8, And I looked at him and I said, yes, you are. And I didn't have any plan. I just reached in the pocket, took all the money out of the world. It was like $19 and some change. What was left after that? I just sat down in front of him in front of the table. And he looked up and his eyes got big as garbage can covers. He goes, what's that? And he smiled. I said, that's yours. He goes, I can't take that. I said, yes, you can. He said, how come? I said, because I'm bigger than you are. And then I didn't say another word. I didn't say another word. I just turned. I didn't even look at his mom. I wasn't doing it for attention. And I walked out that door. And I didn't walk out that door. I flew out that door. Man, I had no car. I was walking home. I just felt like so alive. I felt so free. And I should have been scared shitless. I got no money. I don't know where I'm going to feed myself. There wasn't an ounce of fear in me. It was like in that moment, scarcity died. It just died. It was out of my life. And I went home that night, and I had no clue what I was going to do. But I was like excited and inspired, and I started writing out this plan. And I thought, well, people fast all the time. I can fast for 4 or 5 days. It's probably not that meal. I can do that to that meal. And I got this little plan in my head. I'm going to work it out. And I woke up the next morning, and I had no fear in me. And I'm going to work my plan. And the old snowman arrived, and there I get this old envelope in the old days. I tear the thing open, and it's a check from the guy who wouldn't even return my phone call for more than $1,000 to do some interest in. And, $1,200 in those days would cover my butt for 2 weeks to a month, right? I was like, and I started crying. And I'll never forget, I thought to myself, what does this mean? And I decided that meant that I was being rewarded for doing what's right, by not operating out of scarcity and fear. It was spontaneous, it was authentic, it felt right, and I did what felt right, and I was rewarded, and I believed in my mind, I still believe to this day, it may not be true, but that was grace. And so from that day forward, it was just like, just do more, give more, share more, create more, and what you need to be there. It's like air. You don't stop to think about when you take a breath whether it'll be there or not. It's always going to be there. Yeah. You just got to do your part. So I'm emotional about it because even though it's been decades and decades since that day. Well, you quit the guy.
Wow. That even gets me teary. All right. I'm just going to get back to this presentation here, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. So now, do you see how simple it really can be to be legendary in the doTERRA business? I mean, let's think about some of the key points that he talked about. He talked about giving, that now he's in a place where, and Tony, I'm talking about Tony. Tony's in a place where he's making more than enough money that he can give, and he now gets joy, so much joy out of giving and not worrying about, where the next dollar is going to come from. And this kind of goes back, as I was listening to this clip again, it reminded me of the woman who made my car payment for me, and it made me realize that although I was really touched and it really left an impression on me, she probably got more out of making that $200 car payment than I got out of having 1 month of being able to breathe, that I knew that I can make my, I can keep my truck, When we give, and we give authentically, and we give from our heart, we get so much back from that. And if you think about the doTERRA business, we are giving the gift of the oils. doTERRA means gift of the earth. The earth is giving us that gift. doTERRA, the founders, the executives of the company who started the company, give us this gift and continue to do so with all of the research and the Healing Hands projects that they get into, I just lost my train of thought again. Because I was thinking about Underground Railroad. Wow. I posted some videos on the 101 class that's happening soon. Look, Google, I know this is a sidetrack, but go onto YouTube and type in dōTERRA, co-impact sourcing, and just have a look at, just add the word to that, vetiver, and then look at that video, and then take the word vetiver off and put in wintergreen or Nepal. So you're going to type in dōTERRA, co-impact resourcing, Nepal. And then also in YouTube, look for any videos that talk about dōTERRA and something called Project Underground Railroad. Okay, these are the things that dōTERRA is doing and giving back to the community, giving back to ordinary people, it's people that are not even using the oils. I got goosebumps again. Okay, but when we are building this business, when we're sharing the oils, when we're sharing that gift that was shared with us, you will get so much out of it. I'm telling you right now, there is nothing better than receiving a text, an email, or a phone call when somebody says, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you for giving me my life back. And that's a quote from Ashley when I checked in with her a week after we sat and had a consult. Of course, I didn't know what I was doing at the time. It was really Zane and Pam who put together the protocol. But nonetheless, when you get that thank you, that, you know, gratitude from somebody after you've just shared the oils and it's made a massive impact. How did you feel when Mary contacted you or shared her story with you?
I was taken back. I couldn't believe that me overcoming my fear could impact that.
Yeah. Imagine doing that again and again and again and again. And if we think back of our list of people who, you know, that I showed you, who are well-known legends, you know, JFK, he was a president, Martin Luther King, a civil rights campaigner. I mentioned activists. I mentioned artists, filmmaker, authors, industrialist, a designer, the president, a cyclist. You know, they did the same thing again and again and again by combining their passion with their superpowers, and they became a legend. And you will become a legend. You might not, you know, Brad talked about, I don't want to be known. I just want to kind of hide under this rock and do my little thing. Well, let me tell you, honey, the more you share, the more lives you change, the more empowered you're going to feel, you will be known because you are a legend at that point. And, you know, you're going to rank up and your business will grow and you will walk that carpet if you work this business. So we have many legendary people in our team. And I'm sorry, this is a slide I used from last night. We heard from Anita last night and Ashley, and Anita's on this recording with me again. The recording last night didn't take so well, so that's why we're re-recording it. But we're going to end. Is there anything that you wanted to add to that?
You forgot one legend, and that was Jim Rohn. And the one quote that I really love for him is, the discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. So it's good to listen to this stuff, it's good to study, but again, it's in that preparation mode. And if you don't get motion happening, it won't happen for you. You can read all the books you want, but it's not going to make you diamond. So, yeah, as Leonie said, forward is forward. Doesn't matter how slow or how fast you go, as long as you're putting one foot in front of the other.
That's right. The tortoise and the hare. It doesn't matter how fast or how slow you go. You just got to cross that finish line.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, we're going to end. I hope you guys enjoyed that and learned something. We're going to end a little bit different, and we're going to do a chakra meditation and just kind of hit on some points. You know, I talked about self-talk. I'm going to make some statements in this chakra meditation that you're going to repeat mentally. And, you know, re-listen to this and feel free to write these down and use them as affirmations, because they're really powerful and they really will help to change your mindset. Okay, so if you're sitting, sit comfortably, have your back erect, your feet on the ground, and if you want to lay down, feel free to lay down. If you are driving, do not, I repeat, do not close your eyes.
Unless you've got a seeing eye dog.
Yeah. And if you are sitting on the floor, make sure that your legs are crossed, your spine is straight, and your chin is slightly tucked. You go ahead and place your palms on your thighs. If you want to feel uplifted, then have your palms facing up. And if you want to feel grounded, then face your palms down on your thighs. Close your eyes, unless you're driving. And we're going to start off by just slowing down your breath, okay? We're going to slow it down to a 4 count by inhaling up to 4 and then back down to 1. So let's begin. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now continue to breathe steady on your own. And what I'm going to have you do is just touch. You don't need to tap consistently, but just touch the chakra that I mentioned to activate it. Okay? I'm going to first say the statement. I'm going to tell you something to imagine and then repeat the statement mentally. You can say it out loud as well if you want. So go ahead and tap your, excuse me, the center of your pelvis, just to activate that chakra. All that I need to live my legacy is with me now or well on its way. Now imagine a bright red light at the center of your pelvis, glowing brighter with each breath, and repeat these words mentally. All that I need to live my legacy is with me now or well on its way. Now go ahead and tap your navel chakra to activate that. I am growing stronger in my unique talents every day. Imagine a bright orange light around your navel glowing brighter with each breath, and repeat mentally. I am growing stronger in my unique talents every day. Now tap your solar plexus, activate that chakra. I believe in my abilities and I am worthy of greatness. Imagine a yellow light at the solar plexus glowing brighter with each breath, and repeat mentally. I believe in my abilities and I am worthy of greatness. Now tap your heart chakra. I love who I am and see challenges as opportunities to grow stronger. Imagine a green light at the heart center, glowing brighter with each breath, and repeat mentally. I love who I am and see challenges as opportunities to grow stronger. Now touch your throat. I speak with confidence and surround myself with those who empower me. Imagine a bright blue light at the throat, glowing brighter with each breath, and repeat mentally. I speak with confidence and surround myself with those who empower me. Now touch between your eyebrows, your third eye. I follow my own path and tune into my source to guide me. Imagine a bright indigo light between your eyes, glowing brighter with each breath. Now touch the top or the crown of your head. I embrace change, follow bliss, and breathe away fear. Imagine a bright violet light above the crown of your head, glowing brighter with each breath, and repeat mentally, I embrace change, follow my bliss, and breathe away fear. Now there's another part to this meditation, and what I want you to do is continue breathing smoothly with a steady 4-count inhale and a 4-count exhale. And I want you to imagine experiencing the following thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and allow whatever comes up, and embrace the visualizations with the playfulness of a dream. Imagine a large movie screen appears in front of you, and after a few seconds, pictures begin to fill the screen with events, places, and experiences in which you intend to have in your life. Experience this for a few breaths. This could be anything to do with your personal life, your business, anything. Pictures. Put the pictures on the screen of events, places, and experiences in which you intend to have in your life. Now imagine a room with a large treasure chest open in the middle. You have the ability to place in the chest all that you need to create the legacy impact that you wish to create in your life's journey. What would you put in this chest? This could be real items as well as symbols or metaphors. Experience this for a few breaths, and you can put as little or as much in this chest as you want. And again, you are imagining it, so you could put whatever it is. There's no limit. Now imagine entering another large room with a great table in the center of the room. And seated at the table and stretched for as far as your eyes could see are many people who you've met in your life. You sit down at the table, and each of them share what they love the most about you. What would you like them to say? Experience this for a few moments and a few breaths. Now come back to this space, wiggle your fingers and your toes, and take this time to thank yourself for taking the time to become the greatest version of you. And again, feel free to write these down, to repeat them daily, and use them as affirmations. So that concludes our call for tonight. Is there anything that you would like to add?
No, just keep going if you have. You can't quit on a bad day.
That's right. You're not allowed to quit on a bad day. I love it. All right. I love you all. Now you know what I'm about to say. Go be an example to others so they want to be just like you. And together we will change the world because we are all capable of being legendary. Good night.